I am hesitant with seafood. Not because I'm in a landlocked state, but because I just didn't prefer it growing up. But there's a craving here for Louisiana crawfish. So much so that illegally imported live crawfish have made their way to Colorado for a decade. Now the state's considering lifting the import ban that clearly may not be working. Our Brian Wendland spent the morning with Colorado Parks and Wildlife.
On a journalistic journey to catch crawfish.
Yeah, this is definitely the hard way.
You kind of get why people would rather just buy them.
There was a tiny one, I almost had him.
Then again, when Colorado Parks and Wildlife's Joey Livingston finally snags one.
Not much to eat off this one.
You also see why Colorado's native crawfish need protection from invasive species.
Any species that gets introduced can have effects on the entire ecosystem.
People have been illegally importing live red swamp crawfish from Louisiana to eat for about a decade. Because of that interest, CPW could soon lift the ban on live imports.
One of our goals is to perpetuate the wildlife resources of the state, which includes protecting our native species, but we're also accountable to the people of the state as well.
That accountability doesn't mean our state's appetite for Louisiana mudbugs is the only consideration, though.
Biological factors are going to be a huge part of that, whether we're able to make regulations that can sufficiently protect our waters while still allowing people to import and consume these.
Accidents happen, and an alien crawdad has already invaded Colorado's waters. It's a species brought over from the Ohio River Valley for fishing bait.
The rusty crayfish is larger and more aggressive than our native species and does outcompete with them for resources.
Louisiana crawfish could outcompete our native species too. But if CPW determines it can safely allow live ones to cross state lines, they could soon be on a menu near you.
Importing them is definitely an easier option if you want the guaranteed meal, rather than catching them yourself.
For Next, I'm Brian Wendland.
Want to be heard on this? You have until next Sunday, the 30th, to let Colorado Parks and Wildlife know if you're on Team Good Food or Team Environmental Harm. You can find a link to the public comment website in this story on 9news.com.